Beneath the surface of the moon, a world is said to exist that surpasses anything we can imagine. Gigantic underground cities, mysterious technologies, and a civilization that shapes matter through frequencies. This video takes you into a vision of the moon that weaves together science, spirituality, and cosmic history. Hello, my name is Frank Halfer, and in the Akasha-Interviews I work as an information medium, documenting and publishing questions and answers about consciousness, humanity, and our place in the universe. With that said, let's turn to the question. Entry A, 232. The Moon, Part 3. The moon is inhabited by many different beings, and they all have in common that they are extremely advanced in their methods. By this, we mean that they have developed technology that not only brought them to your moon, but also enables them to remain there. Your astronauts were only ever on the moon for a short time, because your technology did not allow for a longer stay. The moon's inhabitants do not have this problem, and we mean beings who are so advanced have also colonized other celestial bodies. For this, however, they require many tools that allow them to accomplish such tasks. Let us assume the beings wish to create a base. How do they proceed? First, they choose a suitable location, and this location should contain lunar rock that we would like to compare to granite. Granite is not only hard, but many harmful energies are largely repelled by a layer of granite. Granite can also be shaped wonderfully, and we tell you that in earlier times humans were able to soften granite through thought. The softened material could be transformed into any shape. Today you require devices for this, not to melt the granite, but to temporarily alter its structure, whereby the granite regains its natural properties after a short time. To change this permanently, someone would need to determine the intrinsic frequency of granite and develop a device capable of altering that frequency. That person would quickly realize that through changing the frequency, the granite becomes malleable. Anyone who believes that such a frequency change could be caused by music is not entirely wrong, but the frequencies are very specific, so one must first be able to distinguish stones according to their intrinsic frequencies. Once this is done and understood, the frequency can also be generated and adjusted. In doing so, the states of the granite change, and these changes cause the hard rock to become soft, so that exposing the rock to an altered frequency allows it to be shaped with bare hands. It sounds crazy to you, but most beings have mastered this technology. Advanced beings can also convert rock into energy. For this, they direct a kind of frequency cannon at an area of the rock, and the frequencies ensure that the rock seemingly disappears, but it is merely converted into energy. The process is simple and harmless. If a being were to get between the frequency cannon and the rock, only the being's hair would burn, because hair is closest to the frequencies. Hair is special and endures for quite some time, though we do not wish to compare hair with rock. However, hair is closer in its state to rock than bones or even teeth. This method of creating cavities requires an enormous amount of energy, which is drawn directly from the universe. The universe, however, contains an immense amount of energy that does not disappear but is constantly transformed. It would be better if the rock could be used otherwise, and the beings do so. The underground bases are enormous, and many monuments are present there. Each base makes it its task to stand out through its constructions, and many of these bases are known within your solar system. These monuments are also positioned on the surface, so that strangers can see from afar what a magnificent group has built its base there. Much of what you know from the ancient Egyptians is represented there on the surface as well as within the base. Your space agencies have always wondered at what can be seen there, and much they still do not understand today. See it as something the group likes to display, and some of it is very large so that it cannot be overlooked. Many craters have such monuments on their slopes, and numerous drawings and ornaments can be seen there. Activities on the surface are extremely rare, and we also say that if an amateur astronomer glimpses something like that, they have been very fortunate. The missions to the Moon were also undertaken to get to the bottom of this mystery. Earthly authorities are still in the dark, and no one really knows what to make of it. But the beings within the Moon view it calmly, because humanity is technologically so backward that it poses no threat. Many beings live a fulfilled existence inside the Moon. We would compare it to a southern lifestyle in which neither stress nor pressure weighs upon the beings. We say southern lifestyle because many bases fit exactly that description. A base is not a building complex as you imagine it, but rather a base has buildings within its landscape. Many bases have lakes or rivers. The light is generated technologically. We must say it is mostly static and does not simulate the course of the sun, but everything is illuminated and warm. Many beings are like humans, and in such an environment one can live and work well. Most researchers know no physical labor, and not a little is accomplished through technology. Not all groups are alike, yet we mean that no one is forced to live with a group. Some beings also change their location. By this, we mean the following. There are many specialists, and when their work is done, they go where they are needed. The beings within the Moon belong to different races, and we mean that most remain among themselves. But when they work, it makes no difference to which race they belong. There are hostilities, but with so many different races, this is not unusual. There are also humans there who did not all come from Earth, though some did. Contacts established with certain humans on Earth often result in the respective person wishing to live permanently on the Moon. What can a human accomplish on the Moon? The earthly human is special because they carry many strong emotions within them that most beings do not know or cannot understand how a being can live with such strong emotions. Most beings sense these emotions from afar, which is why humans are welcome, because the beings can observe how a human deals with them. A simple task can overwhelm a human or inspire them. That is something most beings do not know. Many humans care deeply for those closest to them, whether on Earth or on other planets. Humans from Earth can interact well with other human races because humans can be very warm-hearted. However, this does not apply to every human. So we say only the good-natured among the contacts have any chance of coming to the Moon. Those who have been there usually do not wish to return. Those who remain there have a long and healthy life, because there is no pollution in the bases, and medical care can accomplish more than is possible on Earth. What else do the beings do on the Moon? They amuse themselves with music and other leisure activities. Couples form families there, and friendships are also established. The beings travel frequently to view the achievements of other groups. Work is experienced as fulfilling. So we would say that work stands in the foreground, and much is undertaken with colleagues. Flights to Earth, however, are not among these activities because Moon inhabitants must provide a reason in order to visit Earth. They also travel to other celestial bodies to relax or to work. The Moon has many water reserves, so lakes and rivers are frequently visited. There are also animals there, but only selected species. That is to say, the animal world is supervised and cannot develop freely. A day at the lake is often used to establish contacts with other beings. Couples are not always from the same race, so things can be observed that are rare even on other planets. Many of these couples have offspring who are celebrated as genuine Moon inhabitants. All races enjoy celebrating, and many celebrations are adopted from other races, so that festivities can appear quite wondrous, and Moon inhabitants sometimes do not even know exactly what is being celebrated. Everything that is eaten or drunk is grown exclusively within the bases. Many bases trade their cultivated food among themselves. There are also markets, where not only food is traded, but other products as well. In the next part, we will speak about the connections between the Moon's inhabitants and humans on Earth. Media on Earth who attempt to connect with a spiritual being often connect with inhabitants of the moon who enjoy having a conversation with a human. This entry, along with many others, is available on my website. The content is published in German, but modern browsers make translation straightforward. You'll find a direct link to this blog entry and further helpful information in the video description.